morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here. That Journey Chick on Instagram. How is everybody this morning? A wonderful night of lives last night. I really enjoyed having the crafty heifer Marissa McCartney on the channel. She and I are collaborating on this temperature blanket and year of and she's doing a corner to corner blanket. I'm doing a loom blanket and a crochet blanket. Clearly, I took on way more than I should have, but it's okay. It'll get done. Everybody's behind, and it's hard to think about yarny things when it's so freaking hot out there. We had some respite because of the rain. I'm looking for kittens. They're in here. Yes. I think they're like in their teenage phase right now. Little defiant. Hey, Stitch, get out of there. Oh my word. He gets himself into the weirdest places. And now he doesn't know how to get out of it. Uh-oh. Stitch. He's trying to figure out, okay, I can turn around. Oh, he got out of it. And she's playing in the garbage bag. I have a little garbage bag here. You're crazy. She's in the garbage bag right there. She's in the bag. Hi, baby. You want to say hi? Come say hi. Say hi to the peoples. Say hi. I love my mommy. Yes, I do. No, you can't be up there. No. Look at all the things. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no. You can't have all those things. Okay, go play with your sister. Who's in the bag. Come here. Come here, Pearl. And here's Pearl. Say good morning. So I'm getting bigger. Look at her tail. I love her tail. Look. Okay, I know you want to go play. Okay, go play. Go play. Oh my goodness. So last night, I'm on the phone with Narrate. I'm sitting in bed. I'm on the phone with Narrate, and the kittens are playing in my bedroom. And all of a sudden, the curtains are like, crash! I'm like, oh no. And they didn't knock them down, but they knocked them off they were really off kilter, they were ready to come down. So I had to put her on hold and go put the curtains back up. Yeah, I don't know if my curtains are going to survive these kittens. We'll see. I use a spray bottle. Boy, if they see that spray bottle coming, whoosh, they're gone. So I just have to make sure I got the spray bottle. Got my coffee. I forgot my coffee yesterday, guys. All right, let's go. We're working on this corner here. That wasn't as dramatic as I thought it would be. Hold on. Ready? Do, 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 do. Okay, that was dramatic. It's only Thursday. I say that. It's been a long week. I'm ready for the weekend. Because it's a long weekend. I have Monday off. Yes. July 4th is Sunday. You know, the big Independence Day celebration. Well, today is the equivalent in Canada. It's Canada Day. Yep, it is. And we'll talk about that later. I just realized that's for my this day in history. Where's my little thingamajobber? Thingamabobber. I don't know. I lose them. I have to order some. I'm talking about these little stoppers here that go on the end here. Okay. How bad is it going to be if I put the light pad on? Ooh. Okay. I don't think I need the light pad. Yeah. Too much. So, tonight, Thursday night, is Wolfpack. Where has Wolfpack been? Now that I'm thinking of it. She's on my Treasure Studios Art affiliate team, and I'm trying to think if I've heard from her lately. I'm going to have to check on her. So, just an update on the step challenge, the 90-day step challenge. Things are progressing well. You know, I'm so proud of my team. They are doing awesome. I haven't told them yet, but in the third week of in the second week of the challenge, we kind of slipped a little bit. The steps were down from the first week, but in the third week, we made a huge improvement. Everybody's like, whoosh, they're on it, you know. So, but and not to make excuses, but one of my team members got COVID, so it kind of knocked her out for a while. She's feeling better now. She's recovered and is back to trying to get her steps in. Felt so bad for her. Yep. And I have a few team members that are out in Las Vegas, and man, it's hot out there. I don't know when they can like walk outside and stuff. But I've learned you can do lots of walking in the house. And while I'm at work, you know, I go to I work in the hospital Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. So, like yesterday, I just took breaks and walked around, you know, the inner hallways. I walked down near the resident rooms, you know, because we got a whole new batch of new residents. Or are we getting a whole new batch? We're getting a whole new batch of residents. Or maybe, I don't know if they've started yet or not. They might have started already. I think the other ones, yeah. Actually, the other ones graduated. Yesterday would have been their last day, the residents. So we're getting a batch of new residents this month. It's kind of funny because they don't know where anything is. Our hospital is so huge. I don't know if I've ever described it to you. It's called Ascension Via Christi, St. Francis. So it started out as St. Francis Hospital, and the old hospital is part of the entire hospital structure, but the old hospital is towards the back, and they still use it all, and that's the main entry into a chapel. There's a huge church, they call the chapel, a huge church, that since whenever they would add to the hospital, they would just add around the church. So now this church is completely surrounded by hospital. So and they designed the hospital so that anywhere you are, you know, any corridor that you are, there's glass and you can look out on this chapel. And yesterday I was looking out and they have planted the most gorgeous flowers out by the chapel, like these beautiful pink hydrangeas and these beautiful poppies, and oh, it's just beautiful. And at Christmas time, it's all decorated, but it's just weird to see this church that was built in the 1800s sitting in the middle of this huge hospital structure. So, and that's where my friend and I at work, we walk. We walk around that hallway so we can see the church and everything else that's going on. I know. That was more information than you needed. I know, but you know, it's a neat place to work, and they still have services there every day. And then if you can't make the service, you know, if you're a patient and you can't make the service, they have it on closed TV, closed caption TV, which I think is kind of cool. Oh man, I'm running out of steam, guys. So yesterday, I'm telling you, I didn't know how it was going to go at work, you know, sitting in that chair all day. And I did take frequent breaks, but I think by about 2 o'clock, my neck was screaming at me. So I took some Tylenol, and then really by 3 o'clock I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here. But I managed to stay till 4, and then as soon as I got home, I took a muscle relaxer. You know, I knew I had the show to do at 6, and but I didn't care. And that usually puts me to sleep, but it didn't. And you know, the show went on, but it did make my neck feel better. So man, I don't know what I've done to my neck in that car accident, but wow. Oh, Tootsie's barking. Oh man, last night she growled at Stitch. I have never, Never in her life have I heard her growl at anybody. I had given Tootsie her nighttime treat. She gets 3 little of these chewy milk bones. They're not the crunchy ones; they're chewy, and they're little. So I give her 3, and she had them with her. And the cat Stitch tried to take one from her, and she was not having it. She was like, I've never heard her make that sound. I'm like, oh, I grabbed Stitch and I said, I think you better leave her alone. Um, she was like, nope, you can take my mommy's attention, but you're not having my treat. And then I let the cats, into the room last night for a little while. I didn't want to put them, they were still pretty active. It was about 10 o'clock, and so they were playing around the bed. And Tootsie was like, she got disgusted. She just left the bedroom. She just got out of bed. She was like, Mom, let me know when you put him to bed. I'll come back. So, and Stitch started crawling up in my lap about 10:30. So I put them in their room to go to bed, and then Tootsie came back to bed. I think by the end of the day, she's had enough of kittens. She does play with them, though. She's quite active with them during the day. She chases them around. This is the prettiest color. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a deep aqua. Yeah, it's really pretty. Anyway, today is U.S. Postage Stamp Day. This is the day we recognize the ease and simplicity with which we can send and receive mail. So the first postage stamp was issued July 1st in 1847. Now, it wasn't mandatory at that time that you use the postage stamp. You could still send a letter if you wanted, but it would be delivered to the recipient, and then the recipient had to pay the fee for the letter. Then in 1855, they made it mandatory that you needed to use postage stamps. So, there. And who doesn't love, social media is great. And you can send happy birthdays, memes, and gifts, and stuff through social media, but it's not the same as getting a card in the mail. So every now and then I will shoot cards out to people. And in fact, I think I'm going to do that today. If I have some time at work, which I don't know, because yesterday I was swamped. I'm going to send some cards out to some friends. Yes, it's fun to get. I love social media, but it's fun to get a card in the mail. It just has a special meaning, like, oh, that person really thought about me. More than like, oh, I'll take 2 seconds to send a happy birthday gift or whatever. Anyway, that's just me. So I learned a new word. I'm probably not pronouncing it great. Philately. P-H-I-L-A-T-E-L-Y. It's a study of stamps and postal history. Now, do you know anybody that's into philately? It sounds really risque, doesn't it? Yeah. I don't know. Stamps often have a fascinating history. Everything from inspiration and the artist to the postal rate in a given year affects the value of a stamp. Collectors look at the quality and rarity as well. Now, every time I go into the post office, I look to see if they have any Alice in Wonderland stamps. I know I'm crazy. And they don't. But like at Christmas time, I like to get the Christmas stamps. But honestly, I don't send that much. Like, I pay all my bills online now, so I can't even tell you the last time I wrote a check. I don't even know if I have any checks. I pay everything online. Yeah. Speaking of which, if I don't pay my turnpike bill, they're going to fine me. Apparently, I exited a toll road when I went to pick up the kittens. I exited a toll road where they did not have a person to collect money. or a way to collect money. So they sent me a bill for $10. Well, who knew? So now, and if I don't pay that $10, the fine will go up from there. So I gotta get on the horn with them and pay that fine. Now, I used to have one of those passes that you could put in your those transponders that you can put up on your windshield. That was in the last car that I totaled, and I never, once it's there, you can't take it off the windshield very easily. So, and I never called them to tell them that I still don't have that transponder anymore. So I do need to get on the horn with them. But like I said, I was so busy at work yesterday. Anyway, snail mail. Yeah, so collect some postage stamps. That's what I need. One more thing to collect. Now, would that be considered a craft? Is philately a craft? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so how do you celebrate it? Get some pen and a paper out, or get a card and write someone a letter or a nice note and put it in the mail. Why not? Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, try to make sure I do this right since I'm not using a light pad. Oh, that one's upside down. All right, we'll just put that back. All right, we're going to do judge, jury, and jury. We are wrapping up this trial, folks. So we're going to do the closing, finish the closing arguments of the defendants. Now, I didn't fast forward, but I watched the rest of the videos because at this point I'm like, I need to know how this ends. And I do know how this ends. So, and I'm just going to say, wow. That's the only hint you get, because you're going to have to tune in tomorrow to find out how this trial ended. Now, some of you may already know, because this happened the trial was in 2019. So, first defendant was Sergio Garcia's attorney. He gets up to do his closing. And he spends quite a length of time trying to discredit Luis Rivera and saying how, how ridiculous is it that Luis Rivera, is blaming, is adding Sergio Garcia into this, when he's the head of the Latin Kings. He doesn't need to go buy a gun on the street, from the black guy on the corner, which is what was his testimony. He can just get guns wherever he wants. He's the head of the Latin Kings. He could have called somebody in Tallahassee to do the murder. What are you doing? Stitch, you're crazy. Oh my God. What are you doing? Oh. This is the bag I use for trash. I now have trash all over the floor because it's been, I emptied it yesterday, so there's not much in here. But they are fascinated with this bag. I'll put it back. I don't know how long that's going to stay there. I'm wearing my crochet scrunchie. I always wear something crochet, right? I'm tired. Oh, back to defense closing. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so he's like picking apart the testimony of Luis Rivera, like really nitpicking. And he says, notice how Luis Rivera doesn't say that he's telling the truth. He says, I'm helping you out. So his contention is that, Sergio Garcia and Luis Rivera were really arrested around the same time frame. So in order to cut a deal, Luis Rivera to cut a deal, he would have had to, embellish the story to make it, and add Catherine in and add, Charlie in. He had to give them more than just Sergio. So, and that was actually the argument of the other counsel. I'm getting them too confused. So he was really attempting to make Luis Rivera's testimony sound just ridiculous. But here's the rub. yes, it sounds ridiculous, but the whole thing was this whole crime was ridiculous, and everything that Luis Rivera said fits with the evidence. The evidence all supports what Luis Rivera was saying. So, and as for accusing Sergio Garcia of being the shooter, he says his argument is, you think he would have gotten such a great deal if he said, hey, I was the shooter? Now, for me, and for the court, I need to tell you, it doesn't make a difference if you're the shooter or you're not the shooter, or even if you're not even on the scene, such as Catherine Magbanua. You can still be charged with first-degree murder. The only difference is, that you'll have the aggravating factor of having a firearm in your possession when you do it. Yeah. So I didn't think that argument was that good. And then he finishes his argument by saying, like, playing on the jury's sympathies, telling him what a rough life Sergio had. He's had a really difficult life growing up in a poor family and abusive father, and like, you could hear the violins playing in the background. Like, it doesn't justify killing somebody. I'm sorry. Then the defense for Catherine Magbanua gets up. Now, this lawyer, he is good. I'm impressed with this guy. I actually think the other lawyer for Sergio is good as well. But, unfortunately, when you're a defense attorney, sometimes you have to defend people that are guilty. And you just have to make them, you have to do the best you can. Throw out arguments like, oh, wasn't his life terrible? You're kind of at the point where you're grasping for straws. How much can you say to help them? So I thought, he did a pretty good job. So Catherine Magbanua's lawyer, he's also doing a pretty good job. And he spent quite a bit of time, like maybe an hour and a half, talking during his closing. And what he said was that the prosecution is using Catherine Magbanua to get to the Adelson family. And I think that's probably true. I think he's absolutely correct. That, at any time were she to say, hey, I'm ready to give you the Adelson family, she could probably cut a deal. Or could have. It's too late once you get to trial. Well, it's not too late. I mean, you can always, things happen during trials. I've seen defendants right up until the trial starts, like 5 minutes before the trial starts, and they plead. They're like, "Nah, I changed my mind," or "Yeah, I'll take that plea agreement." So one of the things Catherine Magbanua's attorney said was the government failed to investigate her employment at these nightclubs during that month of July. She told, her defense was she was making these large amounts of cash in these nightclubs. Now, and she was not reporting that income on her taxes, and she admits that. No, I was not reporting that income. Nor was she putting it in the bank. She was saving it for her breast augmentation, is what her testimony is. So her attorney believes that they should have gone to these places and asked for employment records, subpoena employment records, interview people. But Catherine, said on the stand she couldn't remember the names of anybody she worked with during this time period. And couldn't remember names of supervisors at these places, so it was such a loosey-goosey testimony. And then her best friend testified that no, she didn't work during that time frame. She had quit bottle service. She didn't like it. She had said she didn't want to do that anymore. So, and that was probably back in April or May. But this attorney said, well, her best friend was pregnant and was, they weren't that close during this time frame, and she wouldn't have known whether Catherine was going to work at night in these clubs. I don't know. I don't buy that. They were best friends. I think she would know if her friend was working in the club at night. And the state attorney's office, or the FBI did subpoena the Florida employment database, and there was nothing on her for that time frame. And anytime you're employed, that data would be in that system, except that she didn't declare that on her taxes. So I don't know. Maybe that's why she wasn't there. And so, as the defense shows 2 photographs as proof that she worked in this nightclub. One, she had on like this super tight outfit where her boobs were like, pushed out, and that was proof that she was doing bottle service. And I didn't see the other picture, but that was their evidence. 2 pictures that she worked bottle service. Okay, I don't think that's going to fly. And then he also was trying to discredit Luis Rivera's testimony. So, like I said, it was a pretty long argument, and both attorneys really focused a lot of their argument on Luis Rivera. They're asking the jury, is he credible or is he not credible? And they also made it a point to say, was Charlie Adelson involved? That's really something for another day. That's not something for you guys to decide. That's another trial for another day. Right now, these are the 2 defendants that are on trial. So, because the jury's thinking the same thing I am. How come they haven't put Charlie Adelson, or arrested Charlie Adelson, and put, if they've, it seems like they have as much evidence or more on Charlie Adelson than they do on Catherine Magbanua. So I don't know. And if you're asked to believe everything they've said about Catherine Magbanua, then you got to believe that they should be going after Charlie Adelson too. So, and then the state attorney, she gets up and she gets a rebuttal argument. So she gets up, and her rebuttal argument was very passionate, very good. She was she made it a point to say that, a lot of the inconsistencies, are they truly inconsistencies in Luis Rivera's testimony, or are they just nitpicking? For example, was it a color photograph of Dan Markel, or was it a black and white photograph? Who cares? It was a photograph of Dan Markel. Was it, because sometimes during his statements, Luis Rivera would say, that woman, or that woman with the kids, or Wendy. He used 3 different ways to describe the same thing. So it's not really an inconsistency. It's just a different way of saying the same thing, and that was more what she was saying. And that his testimony. And she says, they want you to believe that he's this huge gangster, he's this head of the Latin Kings, and he had all these connections. And she said, you saw what I saw. He's got a 3rd grade education. He can barely read or write. He can't even spell his own name. He actually misspelled his own name. So, yeah, he's not he's, you know, I don't know, he's street smart, he's not smart smart. So that might be the difference. He might still be a terrible gangster. um, I don't know. So the jury is charged, and they are told that they are going to begin deliberations. Now, I think by now it's like towards the midday, or I think they've already had lunch, or maybe they've already had lunch. It's afternoon, so the judge says we're going to provide you with dinner, and if you still haven't reached a verdict by such and such a time, we're gonna take you to a hotel. We're gonna put you up in a hotel. It will allow you to call your loved ones and let them know that you've had to stay overnight in a hotel, that you're being sequestered until the end of the deliberations. But you cannot tell them what hotel you're in, because we don't want that to get out to the media. And you're still not allowed to discuss this amongst yourselves. You can't deliberate outside the jury room. So tomorrow I am going to describe to you what actually happened in the jury room, because I found an interview with one of the jurors, and I haven't listened to the interview yet. I will do that today, but I'll bring that to you tomorrow. And this woman tells all about the jury deliberations. And I'll give you the verdict. So what do you guys think? Guilty, not guilty, or mistrial for a hung jury? Those are always the three choices. Guilty, not guilty, or mistrial. And a mistrial is when they can't make a decision. Oh my God. Kat, what are you doing? Oh, oh my God, I gotta get a picture of this. Holy moly. Hold on. Pearl is on top of the dinosaur. Oh my God, this silly cat. Wait a minute, I want to get a picture so I can show you guys. And this iPad doesn't take the greatest pictures. Oh no, don't move. Okay, I got it. She's on top of my dinosaur. If you've not seen my dinosaur, it'll be in the picture. What? You crazy cat! My God. What am I going to do with these kittens? I am having so much fun. They bring such joy to me. They really do. So it is National Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. Well, I don't know. It's a national. It's Canada Day. Canada. I can't say it. Canada Day. So back in 1867, this day, July 1st, in 1867, the Autonomous Dominion of Canada, a confederation of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the future provinces of Ontario and Quebec, is officially recognized by Great Britain. With the passage of the British North America Act, July 1st will later become known as Canada Day. And this is the day that British says you guys can run your own government, you can be independent of us. Now, I thought it was interesting that Quebec and Ontario were known as Upper and Lower Canada. But then later on, they changed the names to Ontario and Quebec. There were several reasons that all these provinces of Canada needed to band together. They needed a railroad system that could take them from one side of the country to the other. They needed to find a solution for British and French, conflict. And they needed a common defense for that. So, and later on they were joined by Manitoba, Prince Edward Island. So more provinces joined Canada as time passed. But that's the day that this is the day that Canada celebrates their independence from Great Britain. We will celebrate that on Sunday, and they celebrate it today. So if you're one of my Canadian subscribers, happy Canada Day. Now, I don't know what do you guys do for Canada Day? Is it like fireworks and like we do? We July 4th here in this country is fireworks, fireworks, and more fireworks. I heard fireworks last night, and boy, I tell you, Tootsie does not like fireworks. And typically it rains on the 4th of July. And right now it is so scorching hot and the dangers of fires are so real that a lot of fireworks have been banned in some places just because of the heat, and I can totally understand that. So if you're one of my Canadian subscribers, let me know how you guys celebrate Canada Day, because inquiring minds want to know. I could have looked it up, I guess. Oh, I've got to go to work. Got to go to work. What time is it? I don't even know. What time is it? Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. I gotta get going. I gotta get my butt in gear. I can't sit here and diamond paint all day. I would love to. I really would. Oh, somebody's got the garbage bag again. I just heard it. Which one are you up to? Oh. Here. What are you doing in the garbage bag, you silly girl? Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. You are a silly cat. Yes, you are. You are a silly cat. Goodbye. Bye. The good news is they're both gaining weight and they're growing and into everything. Absolutely everything. All right, guys. That's the show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, share this with a friend. Tell them about crafting and crime and how much fun it is to craft while you listen to crime. True crime. I hope to see you somewhere in the community tonight, maybe a Zoom, maybe Animal Crossing, or maybe in the live of Wolfpack, or I'll be around. Say hello to me. I love you all.